You made mistakes, but I love you anyway. You may not be perfect, but I'll fight for you any day. You hide from the world, but I see all your pain. So I give you my love for the hurt that was gained. Whenever you fall, I'll be there to lift you. When the world is against you, I'll always be with you. Even though I'm a warrior, I have the heart of a dove. When the world shows you hate, I'll protect you with love. You are a flower in my garden. I'll chop all the weeds and give you the water and light that you need. Let your mind be free. You have my permission. I'll always love you without any conditions.
As you become one with your Obba Nani energy, your ability to give and receive love will become easier. Love itself is a beautiful, special energy, but unconditional love is on a whole different level. The Obba Nani within you is the unconditional love. Obba Nani's energy also has a warrior side, which means sometimes love hurts. Think of a mama tiger. She will fight off a whole pack of hyenas to protect her babies. Even though the numbers are stacked against her, she's still fearless in a time of battle. The unconditional love that she has for her babies may require her to fight a crocodile inside of the water or a hungry hippo who sees her babies as dinner. Her actions are out of love, even though it'll hurt. Either she'll get hurt or the animals that come for her babies will get hurt. But if you think that love doesn't hurt for her babies, then think again. She goes out and hunts for dinner, making sure her babies eat. They depend on her for food, and each day she makes sure they're satisfied. But that one day comes to where they go to enjoy the meal that she hunts, only for her to growl at them and fight them away. They quickly realize that they have to now hunt their own food or they won't eat. The only thing that got hurt was their little feelings. But they learned pretty quickly when hunger got the best of them. Each one of us has an unconditional love for someone or something. Each one of us has a force, either physical, spiritual, or both, that unconditionally loves us. A dog can love a human so much that he or she will risk their own life to save the life of their owner. A human can love their dog so much that he or she will sometimes refer to themselves as mommy or daddy to that dog. We can also have unconditional love for objects. That usually happens when an emotional attachment is created. If your great-great-great-grandmother knitted a blanket and it's been passed down through generations until being passed down to you, then the emotional attachment will come with it. No matter how much wear and tear it goes through, it will always remain special to you. You will protect that blanket the same way the mother tiger protects her babies. If your home caught on fire and you could only save one object, it would be that blanket. That blanket may not be much in financial value, but the spiritual value makes it priceless. There is no amount of money that will make you part ways with that blanket. We can also develop unconditional love for places. Unconditional love for places is also formed by emotional attachments. Let's say a land development company has an interest in building a market in the old neighborhood your family grew up in. If this project gets approved, it will require demolition to every home in that neighborhood. Even though you no longer live there, you'll still oppose the idea of seeing the neighborhood gone. So now let's get into unconditional love that you give and unconditional love that you receive. Giving unconditional love. Let's say you're the coach of a children's football team. They show up every game, give it everything that they got, but still can't win a game. The season is almost over. There are only 3 games left to play. Now, even though they're losing the game by a landslide, they finally scored the first goal of the season. They celebrate as if they just won the championship. You and their parents celebrated even though there's no chance they'll win that game. Even though they lost a lot to a little bit, you and the parents decided to take the whole team out to celebrate that one score. You and the children laughed, talk about that one score, and had the time of your lives. Every loss has been disappointing up to this point, but this loss was different. That one and only score changed the mood of the children, parents, and you, the coach. Even though the team went on to lose the last 3 games of the season, you still remain proud of them. A few months passed, and you were offered to coach a winning high school football team. These high school kids are championship material, and they have the potential to definitely win. Coaching this new high school team would definitely get your name put in the papers weekly. Your popularity will go through the roof. We now live in a world where nothing is no longer a secret. Thanks to the internet, magazines, and other sources of information, everyone knows you were offered this position. The children and their parents you coach know about the offer as well. The children of that losing team are crushed, believing you will no longer be their coach. But to everyone's surprise, you turned down that high school offer and remained to coach the Little League football team. The Obba Nani within you unconditionally loved those children, no matter how many games they lost. Just the thought of leaving them for a better situation wouldn't sit well with you. Your loyalty and love for those children means more to you than winning a championship and having your name placed in a newspaper every week. What makes this love unconditional is the fact that you didn't care if they lost every game. You loved those children regardless, and the thought of you turning your back on them was not an option. Receiving unconditional love. Let's say you have a daughter who is 6 years old. Her birthday wish was for you to get her a dog. You're not thrilled about adding a dog to the family, but for your baby girl, you just couldn't say no. As you take her to look at dogs, she comes across a dog that is a pure mutt. At her age, she doesn't know the difference between a mutt and a pure breed, so you try to explain to her. The more you explain, she doesn't care. She wants that dog. You think to yourself, of all dogs, she chooses this one. You give her her wish and get that dog for her. The dog has a weak left front leg, so he walks with a limp. He's the least cutest dog compared to the other dogs, but this dog is the one your daughter chose. She names him Crown. Crown is so excited to see her standing in front of him. Crown has always been separated from the other dogs. Every time someone came to look at dogs to purchase, Crown never got looked at. He was treated as if he was invisible. As your daughter walked in front of his kennel, his tail wagged, his ears went up, and he jumped up with excitement. That was the first bit of attention that Crown ever received. Crown now finally has a home, something he thought would never happen. As he adjusts to his new life, he is showered with love and attention from your daughter. Everyone else around him wants nothing to do with him, including you. Crown isn't focused on everyone else. Crown is only focused on the love he received from your daughter. Your daughter and Crown becomes inseparable. They spend so much time together that when your daughter goes off to school, Crown starts to whine. But one day, your daughter took Crown out for his daily walk. They encountered a vicious dog who was more than twice the size of Crown. The dog comes to attack your daughter, but Crown jumps in the way without hesitation. Crown gives it everything he has as he fights the dog. Crown was outmatched, and that dog tossed Crown around like a rag doll. A man driving along sees what's going on, so he pulls his car over. The vicious dog gets scared and runs off when the man gets out of his car. Once you and your family realize what happened, you immediately change your feeling towards Crown. Crown is immediately taken to the animal hospital. After some time, Crown makes a full recovery and returns home as a hero. For that moment on, you and the rest of the family no longer cares about Crown being a mutt. The Obba Nani within your daughter gave one of the greatest unconditional loves ever. The unconditional love that Crown has for your daughter is what gave him the courage to risk his life to save hers. Love sometimes hurt, and yes, Crown ended up getting hurt over the love he has for your daughter. Obba Nani is also a warrior, and Crown displayed that warrior energy as he protected your daughter.